Welcome on in, everybody. Welcome on in. The New York Jets are underway at OTAs. Aaron Glenn's new culture is in full swing, and I want to talk about what that culture is for these New York Jets. The new look New York Jets. All right, Aaron Glenn out there at OTAs, and he's got a brand new t-shirt he wore at practice this week that said the word toughness on it. Right. He also had a word on his t-shirt called grind. So you can tell the type of energy that Aaron Glenn is trying to bring here to this Jets football team. My name is Richie Malora, live here on Jets Media. We are live on Bleacher Report. Okay. I'm really excited to talk about all things New York Jets. There's a lot of exciting things going on with these New York Jets. A lot of new look players the Jets brought in and familiar faces that we're seeing go back after each other. We saw a picture of Sauce Gardner versus Garrett Wilson, which is always a pleasure to see those two guys going after each other. I love everything about what this Jets team is building with this Jets team. Now, the big question is, when will Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson get extended? Will they get extended? I think that is a big topic amongst Jets fans, right? We're waiting for that day that we get the news that Garrett Wilson is locked up long-term. Garrett Wilson, Sauce are here for the long haul, right? That's really what Jets fans want to hear. But hey, we got to let this regime play itself out and let Garrett Wilson go out there and prove himself. Now, there was somebody in ESPN that predicted Garrett Wilson lead the NFL of receiving yards. That is a bold take. I'm here for it. I am all for it. You talk about Garrett Wilson going into year 4. Now, this is something where you look at what Garrett Wilson has done, right, throughout his entire career with the New York Jets. 3 straight seasons with over 1,000 yards, right? And you look at his rookie year to year 2. I mean, I'm really excited to see what he can do. I genuinely am with Justin Fields. I think that is a very underwhelming, underrated part of his game is going to be reuniting with Justin Fields. You look at his rookie numbers. Garrett Wilson put up 83 catches, 1,100 yards. Year 2, 95 catches, 1,042 receiving yards. And then last year, over 100 receptions and 1,100 yards. So he needs to get around 17 to 1,800 in order to pull off that of leading the NFL of receiving yards. I definitely think that is not something a lot of people are expecting, but hey, man, someone from ESPN said it. Definitely something that we need to talk about because I think that Garrett Wilson is capable of it talent-wise, but people are questioning, is Justin Fields a good enough quarterback to bring him to that level, right? And I think that's important, right? So absolutely am all in on Garrett Wilson getting extended for the long haul. The question is, when will that happen? I think that you look at what Garrett Wilson's about. He's about all the right things, right? Not just his talent on the football field, but you can tell that he provides an energy. He provides a good overall nature of being a good human being. And I think that's important when you invest into a guy like that, man. When you invest into a guy like Garrett Wilson, you want to make sure that he's all in with the organization, which he's proven to be. He's a good human being off the field, just like he is on the field. So there's a lot of good things to like about Garrett Wilson, and I'm excited to see what he looks like with Justin Fields as his quarterback. I think that Justin Fields has a lot to prove right now. Of course, there's a lot of people doubting him, and I think that if you're the New York Jets, from an Aaron Glenn perspective, you're excited to give Justin Fields a real opportunity to see what he can do, and that's what it's going to be all about, man. You look at what Justin Fields has done throughout his career. I mean, there's a lot of instances that you cannot really, like, it's hard to predict. And I think some people are boxing Justin Fields into this little bubble that, yeah, we know who Justin Fields is, and that's it. He's never going to improve. And I think that's unfair. I think that is very unfair for Justin Fields. I think that people around the NFL, Jets fans, they should be open to the idea of Justin Fields potentially breaking out. Now, there's no guarantee that he does, but I'm here to tell you, man, we've talked about it many times on the channel, many times. I think that Aaron Glenn's confidence in Justin Fields and Justin Fields' confidence in himself That's going to translate. I really do believe that we're going to see the best version of Justin Fields we've ever seen with the New York Jets. Now, is that good enough to be the franchise guy? We don't know. We have to wait and see. But I'm really buying in to especially what Aaron Glenn is talking about, man. You know, he wore a shirt at practice, said toughness. And I think that if you know anything about Aaron Glenn, with his time with Detroit, his time as a football player with the New York Jets, and I think that what Aaron Glenn is bringing here, it's a new, fresh environment, right? And I think that what Aaron Glenn has done thus far, seeing him on the football field, interact with his team, and I cannot stress enough how important it is that Aaron Glenn, whatever message he's preaching to these guys, they're showing up. You guys see Hassan Reddick with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers not showing up for practice? The Jets have a 100% attendance. And I don't know if that clicks in your brain as a Jets fan, how important that is. When you have a brand new coaching staff, like Aaron Glenn, hiring Tanner Engstrand, first-year offensive coordinator, hiring the veteran defensive coordinator of Steve Wilkes, getting all these new players, all these new coaches to buy in, and for them to show up to voluntary OTAs, that tells you that they are all in. Because do you have any idea how much of a disaster it would be if we found out, yeah, like 75% of the players are showing up to OTAs. Guys like Quinnen is not there. The veterans we brought in free agency aren't there. This is hypothetical, of course. Tyrod, veteran backup, not there. Garrett Wilson's holding out for a new contract. If that was the case, that would be bad. That would be very bad. But that's not the case. And that's why this is a big deal. I have to remind people what it's like on the other side of potential when you realize that what this Jets football team is doing right now, it's getting all the players to buy into this system, buy into the culture of Aaron Glenn. And you can look at this talent and analyze it. You can look at what position is bad, what position group is good, which has more depth, which guys are going to break out. All of it's unknown. But the one thing I know is that the Jets got a real man in charge at the head coach. And he's got to prove himself. We didn't hire a Pete Carroll or a Bill Belichick or an established coach. We didn't do that. We hired a first-year head coach. And that's something that is really interesting because I don't know about you guys, but Aaron Glenn doesn't really feel like a first-year head coach. Like, it feels like he's been doing this for years. And the reason I say that, it just feels so natural for him. It definitely feels like the head coach role feels natural for Aaron Glenn. Even Robert Saleh's first few years with the Jets, he was trying to figure it out. And the reason why I bring up Saleh is because he's the last guy to think back on for us to remember. And also, a lot of people said, oh, here goes the Jets again, hiring another defensive coordinator, first-time head coach, Saleh all over again. I think that's totally unfair. When you look at the resume of Robert Saleh when he was hired compared to Aaron Glenn when he was hired, it's totally different. Aaron Glenn has made it a goal to become a head coach, and he has done everything in his power to get to this spot of his career. And the fact that the Jets job was available at the time that he was going to be a head coach, I mean, it was perfect. It was meant to be. It really was. The fact that this man suited up with the Jets and played with us in the 90s and lived through the experience of being trash as a football team and then going into thriving as a football team, that tells you that he understands what it takes to flip a culture. He experienced Rich Kotite, how incompetent he was as a head coach. And then he experienced firsthand Bill Parcells come in and just change everything. And all of a sudden, they're in the playoffs in the AFC Championship game with Bill Parcells in 2 years. Aaron Glenn goes to Detroit Lions team that's arguably just as bad, if not worse, than the Jets at the time. And he lifts them up to winning the NFC North and going to the NFC Championship game. Like, bro, he was part of that. He got to learn from Dan Campbell. He got to learn from Sean Payton with his time in the New Orleans Saints. Bill Parcells, like, I'm really excited. Like, we could talk about Fields. We could talk about all these, players on the Jets. But the one guy I'm really intrigued to see go out there this season, it's Aaron Glenn on the sidelines. How does he operate himself? Not only just his system and his way about business, but how is he with clock management? Like, how does he embody the head coach role? Because it really is going to make or break this tenure with him. Now, he's got a long leash. I think that if the Jets fail this season and he struggles and the Jets win 5 or 6 games, he's not going anywhere. You got to give him a year or two to figure out who he is. But I think that he embodies what this football team has been lacking for so long, which is intensity, a fierce mindset, confidence, a lack of motivation that previous regimes has. He has that motivation. I just love everything about that. I just love everything that he's been preaching, man. So that's why I wanted to focus in on Aaron Glenn in this show to start it off, to kick it all off, because, man, he has me fired up. And he barely talks to the media yet. It's not like we've heard from Aaron Glenn every day. It's OTAs, and the media is not at OTAs every single practice. So we have to wait and see when he is available before we can do that. Now, there is one specific player I wanted to highlight with you guys and kind of open this up for a conversation, because I think there's one player on this football team that is considered a star and is considered one of the best players on the team that I think the spotlight will be on this year to see if he can prove himself as being one of the best players at his position. And that's big Quinnen Williams. Quinnen Williams, he's got to wake up a little bit, man, because he's been good, but he hasn't been great. And I hold Quinnen Williams to a standard of excellence, of all-pro potential. He's getting paid like one of the best interior defensive tackles. He's also, correct me if I'm wrong, one of, if not the longest tenured Jet. Who else would that be? Thomas Hennessy? I mean, the guy got drafted here and got paid to be the franchise piece. And he's passionate. He wants to win. Okay? And I think Quinnen Williams, I'm excited to see what he's going to do this year. I got all the confidence in Big Q. He's still one of my favorite players on the team. And I think that if he can level up his game to being the dominant force that we know he's capable of, that changes everything. He needs to establish himself as a leader, lead by example, set the tone, absorb the double teams. Can he unlock that Aaron Donald, like Myles Garrett dominance where, oh, there's double teams coming my way? Okay, I'll eat up the double team and go through you. Because Quinnen hasn't really dominated the way that he did when he broke out onto the scene. Like, ever since he got that contract, he's been good, but not great. And I know he's destined for greatness, man. And I think that this Jets defensive line is underrated. Now, if there's one guy that I'm expecting to break out onto the scene more than anybody this season on the defensive line, it's Will McDonald. The fact that Will McDonald, this is a big storyline. We're going to be talking about this all offseason. Will McDonald gained 15 pounds of muscle after coming off 10 and a half sacks. You feel me? I think that Will McDonald, there was a player on this defense that is capable of breaking out into stardom. It is Will McDonald. Jermaine Johnson is coming off an Achilles. We still got Michael Clemens. There's a lot of guys on this defensive line, but Will McDonald could be our Aiden Hutchinson, could be everything this team needs. And I think and I'm focusing on the defense right now for a reason. I'm focusing on the defense, right? Leonard Taylor is another guy that we've talked about on this channel that he has a chance to break out. Defensive tackle next to Quinnen Williams, undrafted free agent. But now going into the next level of the defense, there's one guy I'm really excited to see what he looks like after getting paid, and that's Mr. Jamien Sherwood. Jamien Sherwood just got paid as the captain, got paid as the leader of this football team defensively. I'm curious if he's going to get that captain badge because he has been learning behind C.J. Mosley since he was drafted. And boy, did he look like an absolute beast with this Jets team last year when given the opportunity. A few shows ago, I talked about opportunities. And the NFL, in my opinion, is all about opportunities. There's so many cases where there's players in the NFL that are so talented, but they are never given the chance to show what they're capable of because of their circumstance, because there's a player ahead of them on the depth chart that's been in the league longer, established, and the only way they get a chance if that player gets hurt, and he never does get hurt. Well, Jamie Sherwood had an opportunity last year. He was sitting behind C.J. Mosley learning, sitting behind Quincy Williams, and then when C.J. Mosley went down, that opened up a window for Jamie Sherwood to go out there and show what he's capable of being the Mike linebacker. He took it and ran with it, folks. 5th in the NFL in tackles. 5th. That is an example of taking an opportunity and running away with it, Jamie Sherwood. And the reason why I bring that up is Will McDonald, another player that took his opportunity and ran with it. He would have been in a clogged edge group if Hassan Reddick was playing since week 1 last year and Jermaine Johnson did not get injured. But since Johnson got hurt and Reddick did not show up last year, that opened up an opportunity for Will McDonald to get a lot of playing time. And guess what he did? He took his opportunity and ran with it and got double-digit sacks. Now, there's a similar player on this Jets football team that's getting an opportunity. And the question is, what is he going to do with it? And that's Mr. Justin Fields, our quarterback. You got to give him an opportunity in order to see what he's capable of. And I'm telling you right now, if you're Justin Fields, you should be very thankful that the New York Jets are doing this because they are giving him a quarterback's dream opportunity, a journeyman's dream, somebody that was drafted in the first round by an organization that gave up on him. And now the New York Jets are providing Justin Fields resources. They're providing him a system that's going to be built around him. They're providing him a star wide receiver that he has chemistry with from college. They're also providing him an opportunity to be part of the culture change. And I think that's also important. And I'm assuming that's why he wanted to leave Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has their standards. Pittsburgh has a culture. They've been winning for 10 plus years. Mike Tomlin wins with any quarterback. I think Fields wanted to be part of a team where he could be the reason why the organization gets turned around. He tried with Chicago and it failed. And now the Jets have no culture on this team. And that's what Aaron Glenn is trying to establish here with Justin Fields as his quarterback. And that fires me up to think about, man. That absolutely fires me up. Because I think Justin Fields has all the talent in the world. And I don't think that Pittsburgh gave him the right opportunity. The guy played 6 games last year with Pittsburgh and won 4 out of the 6 games. And we broke down the film a few weeks ago. Justin Fields could have went 5-1. That loss against Dallas, he led them down the field and took the lead late in the 4th quarter just for the Steelers defense to choke and lose the game in the clutch. So Fields could have been 5-1. So I think that Justin Fields proved last year that when given structure, like the Pittsburgh Steelers always provide their quarterbacks, you can win. The guy did not turn the ball over. 5 passing touchdowns, 1 interception, 4 rushing touchdowns. That's 9 total touchdowns to 1 interception. That's a great turnover to touchdown margin, man. So I think that seeing Fields have that spark, you can see a twinkle in his eye a little bit like, hey, this is different. This is new. This is fresh. This is unique. And all that hype that the New York Jets had the last few years with Aaron Rodgers, I'm telling you right now, these players still feel it. I bet you Garrett Wilson, Sauce Gardner, Breece Hall, Quinnen Williams, Quincy Williams, the players that have been on the Jets the last 3 years that went through the entire, hype train that Aaron Rodgers brought, they still feel that. And I bet you they still got confidence that they can accomplish something special here. Because now the Jets are moving in silence. And that's the best thing that Aaron Glenn always talks about. The Jets are not moving in silence, bro. And what that means is nobody's expecting the Jets to be anything. Nobody. The media is thinking about the Jets as just, they're going to be the Jets and stink. Well, Aaron Glenn, he's telling his football team that let's go out there, practice in silence, not have anybody worrying or talking about us like they did the last few years with Aaron Rodgers, and let's go out there in the football field and shock the world. That is how you shift a mindset within an organization. Let your actions speak. Don't go out there and talk the talk. Be about it. Then talk your talk. Then go out there and do that. Because you look at the status of the AFC East, right? The Buffalo Bills, 4 straight AFC East champions in a row. They're the favorites to win the division, of course. But outside of the Bills, and they're Super Bowl contenders, the New England Patriots, they're in a brand new shift, just like the Jets. They got a brand new head coach that has proven in the league in Mike Vrabel. And they got a young quarterback trying to prove himself in Drake May. And the Miami Dolphins, I mean, and I'm trying not to say this as a Dolphin hater, like I look at the Dolphins and I think there's a ticking time bomb on that organization. It's just a matter of time until everybody's fired and they start trading everybody. Like, I really don't think that they are going to accomplish anything special this year. And that could sound like a hater as coming from a Jets fan, but I see a whole roster. I mean, they still haven't traded away Jalen Ramsey. Tyreek Hill had a crazy offseason. Tua can't stay healthy. They don't have a good offensive line still. I don't know, man. So I look at this division, and I think that second, now I'm not going to say it's wide open. Outside of the Bills, it's open for competition to get that second place in the division, which can contend for a wild card spot. Now, I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, man, let's go to the playoffs this year. First year, Aaron Glenn, get us home. Is it possible? Yeah. But I'm not going to sit here and say I'm expecting that. I'm not going to sit here and say, yeah, the Jets are going to go make the playoffs in year one. Nah, I got reasonable expectations. I got reasonable expectations for this team, and I think it's going to take some time, and I think it's going to get ugly before it gets pretty. Man, I look at this roster, and I look at this collection of coaches and the freshness that it brings, and the dynamic between Justin Fields and his teammates, the dynamic between Sauce Gardner, Garrett Wilson going after each other for the 4th year in a row at training camp. The offensive line on paper with the draft pick of Armand Membu plugging in at right tackle with Olufashu at left tackle and the interior offensive line. I mean, we're talking about there's a center competition between Joe Tippmann and Myers. First of all, that's a great problem to have, that we have that 2 quality players at one position fighting for a spot to start. That's a great, great thing. I think Tippmann's going to win, but you want, as a coaching staff, light a fire underneath Tippmann's butt. So, yeah, we brought this guy in Myers who has experience with Fields and has a lot more experience in this league than you. If you're not on your A game, you're going to get replaced. So I think there should be an open competition for literally everybody. Now, there's a player that I'm really intrigued by that I saw a picture of him today at OTAs, and it's a wide receiver by the name of Tyler Johnson. Tyler Johnson's very intriguing to me because Tyler Johnson is a receiver that, talk about opportunity, never really was given an opportunity in the league, right? And I think that now that he's given this opportunity, I think he has a chance to take it and run with it. He's rocking number 16. And he looks like a player that you look at the tape, you look at what he did in previous years with the Rams last year, right? And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the team that drafted him. I think that you're looking at a player that has some confidence in himself, that he can go prove himself. Go prove himself in this league. And you may be wondering, Richie, why are we talking about Tyler Johnson out of all players, right? Bear with me, man. Bear with me. Because here's the photo of my boy, Mr. Tyler Johnson, that we saw at practice today. And it fired me up a little bit because it's getting me excited that he has an opportunity to go out there and prove who he is in this league. And I think this season with the Jets is going to be all about that. It's going to be about players given their opportunities. And I'm not expecting him to break out onto the scene and all of a sudden we're looking at Tyler Johnson as, yeah, breakout. He's our next number 2 receiver for the long run. No. That's not what I'm saying here. But guys like Tyler Johnson, Xavier Gibson, Malachi Corley, all these guys are competing against each other in OTAs right now. So that's somebody that I'm excited to see how he continues to thrive at OTAs. What does he look like? He's a young player, bro, with upside in this league. And when he was given the opportunity to play, he took it and make the most out of it. And that's why I feel like these 2025 New York Jets are going to be the team of giving players opportunities that they were never given before. And I hope that's clicking in other people's brains, right? When I say that all you need in this league is an opportunity and you can run with it, I genuinely mean that. And I think that that's what this team is going to be about. Giving young players opportunities they've never had on other teams and see what they can do with it. I mean, we're doing it with our quarterback and Justin Fields, right? So I think the tight end position is going to be interesting from that standpoint as well. There's so many guys to be excited about heading into this football season, man. Let's go. I want training camp because I cannot wait to be there and talk Jets with you guys, be excited about it, be out there with the sun out in August. Oh, it's going to be a great time, man. And I feel like this Jets fan base needed, like this offseason was perfect for us. And the reason why I say that is there's no unreasonable hype right now. When we got Aaron Rodgers, us fans were leveled up to a place that we'd never been before. We turn on any NFL national show, you're like, yeah, I got the Jets winning the Super Bowl. And you're thinking to yourself as a Jets fan, what? People are talking about us doing the Super Bowl? And then that skewed our brains. We look at Aaron Rodgers in the face. We're like, you are going to be our savior? Let's go. We're all in. And there's nothing wrong. If you were a Jets fan and you got sucked into the narrative that the Jets are about to shock the world and be elite, there's nothing wrong with that. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. The Achilles, we don't got to go into reasons why. But now, this offseason was the opposite. We hired a coach in Aaron Glenn that moves in silence. We brought in smart, intelligent minds in the front office. Darren Muji. The free agency was very, what's the word I'm thinking of? It's on the tip of my tongue. Intentional. The free agency was very intentional that they targeted guys that fits their brand, under the radar guys, did not hand out these large contracts like we've seen in previous regimes, like Mike McCagnon and Idzik and those guys would just hand out money like left and right. No, we committed just to no long-term deals, all short-term. And now it's time to build an infrastructure. And if you're into building businesses like I am personally, I look at the Jets as a business because, newsflash, the Jets are a business. The NFL is a business. And the Jets got to run this thing like a well-oiled machine. And it starts from the top. And this is Woody Johnson's opportunity right here, folks. This is Woody Johnson's chance. And what do I mean by this is Woody Johnson's chance? Because if I polled 100 Jets fans and I asked you, hey, do you like Woody Johnson as the Jets owner? I think 99 out of 100 would say, no, I don't like Woody Johnson. I hate Woody Johnson, actually. Right? That would be the consensus amongst Jets fans. But if Woody Johnson operates this team properly right now, there's a chance that he can win the fan base over. And the way he does that is by stepping back, being hands-off, letting Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji do their job, not get in the way. Because what a great owner does is you hire the right people and then you let them do their job by giving them the resources they need. That's all it takes. And the Knicks, for example, everybody hated Dolan with the New York Knicks, the owner, because the Knicks were bad. Dolan would try to get in the way of things and try to get his hands on things. And that's when things get incompetent. But then when Leon Rose came in the building and Jim Dolan stepped back, now look where the Knicks are. The Woody Johnson and the Jets have a chance to do the same thing. He hired Aaron Glenn. He hired Darren Muji. Now it's Woody Johnson's chance to take a step back and say, okay, I'll let you guys operate this. I'm going to go worry about Johnson & Johnson or whatever he has to worry about. I don't know. Just worry about anything but the Jets. Just give him the resources. because Woody Johnson is a brilliant business mind. He's not a brilliant football mind. We can all agree with that. So, Woody, this is your chance, man. Win over the fan base. The way that you win over the fan base, Woody Johnson, is very simple. One way. You win. That's how. You win. So with that, we're signing off our Bleacher Report. Oh my gosh. I hope so. We just signed off a Bleacher Report, but we're still here live with you guys on YouTube. Shout out to everybody tuning in. Just know that when we're live on Bleacher Report, I never really interact with the chat because I want to focus my attention on Bleacher Report. And right now we have some fake news in the chat who is getting banned. Ban user and delete their comments. Yeah, no fake news is allowed, folks. I don't make the rules, bro. I don't make the rules. No fake news, my guys. But here is, we got some OTA footage, more OTA footage, man. Railing out and rumbling. Gotta be live. By the way, if you guys want to come through the AFC's roundtable and support the JETS Jets, that's going to be live right after this. All right, make sure you guys come on through to the AFC East roundtable. It's been a lot of fun going on that show, man, because people are scared of the Jets and they don't want to admit it. Just kidding. You never know. You never know. So I'm going to put the link in the chat right now. If you guys want to come through, we're going to be talking about all things OTAs over there. And I have a big announcement for Jets Media Day, folks. Listen up. Jets Media Day is officially happening. I bought the tickets. Here's the announcement. Drum roll, please, everybody. Can I get a drum roll, please, in the chat? Drum roll. Drum roll. This is 2023. Can I get a drum roll? I don't hear a drum roll. I'm waiting for the drum roll so I can announce it. I want to announce it with you guys. Now, we're going to make the formal announcement tomorrow. Right? But here it is, folks. Here it is. Let me pull it up and bang. Jets Media Day is week 1, the home opener, September 7th. We are sitting in the mezzanine section, prime seating, sections 228A. We're going to the home opener. It is 100% official. I secured the tickets today, okay? And if you were added to the priority list, you got an email and or a text message to secure your ticket. So they're not available to the public just yet. If you want to get access to pre-sale, just email me, jetsmediaevents@gmail.com, and they are available, officially available, all right, for the pre-sale. And we're going to the home opener, man. We're going to the home opener, and I'll love to just fill you guys in real quick. So my Jets ticket sales rep texted me today. We can secure your event right now early because usually they take another week or two. We're like, we want to secure yours. We got the green light. I'm like, right now? I'm like, all right. I'm on the phone, and I'm like, I'm debating week 1, week 5, and then tell me the inventory, and I'm like, you know what? I'm doing it, and I bought 100 tickets. 100 tickets I just purchased for our group. So if you guys want to pull up, man, definitely go check your email. I sent a mass email out with the link. I sent a direct text message to you guys. And if you got a text message from me, just please know it's not spam. It's your boy. I know some people get a text. They're like, oh, God, that's spam. I'm not clicking that link. No. It's me. It's me. I am a madman. I bought 100 tickets. So we got a lot of tickets, but they are already getting sold. So you guys pull up and come to the event, man. I'm really excited. I think that this is going to be a fun opportunity for us to come together and enjoy the home opener as a Jets collective. If I did the $100 deposit, what happens? So, Lisselle, if you put the $100 deposit down, then you can Zelle me the remaining, or I can send you the link to send over the remaining of the dollars. That's really how that works. That's really how it works, Lisselle. So, if you guys want to come through to Jets Media Day this year, it is the home opener. We get access to the field after the game. We're doing the usual tailgate party. We're having a lot of fun, man. We're going to have a lot of fun this year. And if you guys have any questions about it, just feel free, email me, jetsmediaevents@gmail.com. You guys know where to find me. DM me on Instagram, DM me on Twitter. I'll try to be as active as I possibly can over there. But this year's event is going to be, I think, the most energetic, right? Last year was like a different experience because we got a suite. This year, we're not doing the suites. We actually have seating. And I know last year some people complained to me, hey, Richie, like the hangar was great, but there weren't really seating. Well, I made sure this year we all got seating, right? We got seating. We all have our own reserve seats in our prime section, section 228A, right? Sections 228A is where we will be seated all together. Stadium seating, they're prime seats, really good seats. And we're all going to get access to the field after the game. We're going to be partying before the game. I mean, last year was awesome, and hopefully the weather this year is going to be fantastic. But get your tickets now, because I'm not going to share the link with you guys publicly yet, because I want the people that get pre-sale get first dibs on the action. But want to stress this again. If you receive the text message from me with a link, that was me. That is not spam. I know that the phone sometimes detects it as a spam, but no, that was me sending you a text message and an email. So that's the Jets Media Day update. And I will be, of course, giving you guys further details as it all comes out throughout the next few weeks. All right. So I'm excited about it. But that's going to wrap up this show. All right. The AFC East Roundtable is about to kick off in 10 or so minutes. So come over there, folks. Come over there to the AFC East Roundtable. I love you guys. See you over there. Zachary, I will make you mod on the AFC East Roundtable. King Jamie, appreciate you. Will they let you on the field with your Chief stuff? Yeah, I think so. I can double check, though. Maybe not. Maybe I'll double check. But thanks for tuning in, guys. Hit the like button on your way out. See you guys on the AFC East Roundtable.